Okay, so this is just gonna be a quick, well, not really a quick video, it's gonna take forever to edit and stuff, but this is going to be my overall standings on the current next gen consoles. So that's the Xbox One, PS4, Wii U, 3DS, and PS Vita. And if, like, obviously, go for a PC. Like right now, if you haven't, go for PC. But out of these 5 consoles, I'm just gonna mark off like their overall, their good points, their bad points, and say how much they cost in England, and say how cheap they are and everything, so that you can make up the decision for yourself. First of all, we're gonna start with the Xbox One. So first off the bat, it was really hated like shit. But they fixed it, okay? Everything wrong with it is done really. So you can multitask, there's so much stuff you can do on it. It's very powerful. Microsoft have proved that they're listening to the fans to some kind of degree. I'm really not sure how much, but they have fixed the Xbox One more or less. So they're definitely listening to fans. This thing has like the best controller I've ever seen for any console ever, and costs $450. So that's that's very expensive actually. Very expensive. Massively expensive. And it's a bit buggy at the moment, and obviously it isn't out yet, but it's a bit buggy, and you can tell it will be for a while, and it will be very expensive for a while. Some people don't like it, they just don't, and I can kind of respect that, but yeah, that's the Xbox One. Pretty good, it's just how expensive it is. But if anything, if you're not going to get the console, at least do what I'm going to do, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the controller when it first comes out, and then see if it lets you do what it does with the Xbox 360 controller, where it lets you hook it up to the PC. If it does, oh, heaven. But anyway, okay, so let's move on to the PS4. This is the one everyone likes, this is the one I hate. So, the PS4. I don't really like it that much. I never liked Sony, but that's a completely different video altogether. This is about you and choosing. So, this is the basics. It costs £350, which is still, it's about average price for a brand new home console, I would say. So, it's quite a bit better, like, costing wise, than Xbox One. Now, it has more exclusives, but thing is, I prefer the Xbox One exclusives, new Halo games, Titanfall, that sort of stuff. I really love that. And all the good games, really, like Battlefront, and that sort of stuff, they're multi-platform, so you don't need anything to worry about, and you can play them on PC, so that's cool. So it has technically more exclusives, so I don't know what any of them are off the top of my head, apart from Last of Us, which is a pretty amazing game. So the thing I really don't like about it is not about like Sony, but about the PS4, the stupidest controller ever with the whole touchpad thing. Why? And it doesn't do anything new or innovative. It has a new kind of feel to it and everything, but it's the PS3 with better graphics and a worse controller, and does slightly more, but nothing like amazingly changed. It changes about as much from the PS3 as the PS3 did to the PS2. That's about all I can say, really. So yeah, that's out there, if you like it. So, the next one we're going to move on to is the last home console out of the 3, the Wii U. The one that usually gets left out, but better exclusives is the first one we go for. It's Nintendo. It's better exclusives. New Zelda games coming out soon. New Mario games coming out, well, Mario. But better exclusives, like the exclusives that they've done so far, like Nintendo Land and that sort of stuff, are amazing games, and they're coming out, they're taking the time, they're coming out and they're listening to fans. Pikmin, and it's cheap as shit, £180 right now, but anyway, but yeah, so it's cheap as shit, and it has good exclusives, and it's Nintendo. I mean, so what's bad about it, and why do I hate the Wii U so much more than the other Nintendo consoles? It starts to sound like Nintendo just taking the piss now, really. Like, oh yeah, you know the Wii, you know that thing that really wasn't built for gaming, it's just built in for shaking as fast as you could, so you could win a game. Yeah, we're doing that again with touchscreen. We're not going back, by the way, we're not going back to hardcore gaming and cool stuff. Well, they say they're going back to hardcore gaming, but Zombie U, you literally just press the button as fast as you can and you're done. It's really boring and dull. And also, it's laggy very, very laggy. This is the thing that put me off buying it. I was gonna buy it one day, but I realized how laggy it was. I watched an Ashen's review of it, and trust me, you don't want to buy one yet. If you're gonna buy one, wait another year or so until the new model comes out. But so laggy. Also, I hate the controller. It's okay, but it just sounds like Nintendo taking a piss. Like, the GameCube controller was fine. I don't need all this touchscreens and motion sensors and shit. It's just, I don't need it. So now we're gonna move on to the PS Vita and the handhelds. So, okay, we're gonna start with the PS Vita. It's really cheap again. It's £180. See, the PS Vita costs as much as the Wii U. A handheld costs the same amount as a home console, and they're from the same generation. Think about that. But anyway, it doesn't have any exclusives. Like, it doesn't have any games really. It's a cool looking console. It looks sleek. It has really cool analog sticks. It has the touchpad on the back is a bit gimmicky, especially for Sony. But there's just no games. The only one I can think of on the top of my head is Little Big Planet. I can't think of any others for the life of me. So, and even then, when some do come out, they'll probably just be shitty ports. They won't actually use the touchpads, and if they do, they won't use them very well. So, that's the PS Vita really. It costs £180, which is relatively cheap, and I did want to buy it just to play around with it, but then when I found out there's literally just no games at all. There are, but it's just, why even bother? Like, it doesn't have anything for it. There's nothing to do with it. It's like if someone was like, here's something really cool. You're like, oh my god, that looks so cool. Then they're like, no, you can't do anything with it. It just, yeah, that's pretty much what it's reminding me of. But last, but certainly not least, I think this is the thing that wins it. The 3DS, okay? Now again, I did say earlier, Nintendo, they take the piss and stuff, but with the 3DS, I don't know why, but it's something about the 3DS that makes it really feel like they actually do care. I mean, a New Link to the Past game, I forgot what that's called, but okay, so it just doesn't feel like they're taking the piss with the 3DS, like, Wii U, you know, that's gonna have Zombie U in it, and then people are gonna like it now, and then we're gonna put Wii, and then we're gonna put Villager and Wii Fit Trainer into Super Smash Bros. And lol. But with the 3DS, it actually looks like they're trying. I mean, well, if they were trying, they would have made Majora's Mask 3D, but that's another rant for another time as well. Pretty much, the 3DS is the best. It's the cheapest out of all of them, £150 for the oldest model, which works perfectly. I have the oldest model, works absolutely fine. I want the newer models. Has the best games: Ocarina of Time 3D, Star Fox 64 3D, Kid Icarus, again, Animal Crossing if that's your kind of thing. I found it boring. I mean, you pick a pear from a tree, and you sell it from that, then you sell it to that Tom Nook guy, and then you pick another pear from a tree. Seriously, you're just finding ways of making money, and the easiest way of doing it is picking shit from trees and selling it, and doing that over again in an endless loop. It's a boring game. Seriously, I don't see the appeal in it. But and then the big thing, the big games that are really clinching it for me: Pokemon fucking X and Y. Looks like the best game ever created. Yeah, seriously. And it's by the way, the 3DS is powerful. It's powerful as shit. Like, the graphics look so good for a handheld, like amazingly so. It looks like the game, like the graphics are very, very similar to GameCube, and the GameCube had the best graphics of last generation. The next generation handheld has as good graphics as this generation, really, actually, because this generation games don't look that great either. Seriously, it looks so polished. It's so good. The circle pad is so good. There's so many games ready to show the games coming to it. They've already got an Adventure Time game, and it's amazing. They've got so many good games, and so many coming soon as well. And it's not like it's got any hardware problems like the Wii U. It's not laggy at all. It runs really fast. Also, if you got the 3DS before the price drop, because they dropped the price dramatically at one point, then that meant that people that paid more for it, pretty much, it means the more you pay, the more you get, really. And so they actually gave you Game Boy Advance and NES games for free on it, and also Virtual Console is amazingly well. It's such a good console. Why can't it do stuff right? This is when you know the generation is gonna suck. The Xbox One is decent, but expensive. PS4 is exactly the same as PS3. The Wii U is laggy and Nintendo don't give a shit anymore. PS Vita, no games. 3DS, perfect. How do you do that? The only decent consoles that are worth buying are Xbox One and Wii U. I mean, again, I'm leaving this up to you. I mean, maybe you want the PS4, maybe you just want slightly better graphics. And then that's it. I mean, they've stopped making PS3 games now. I mean, Last of Us was just like the last game where like, yeah, we're gonna make this for the PS3. From now on, they're just gonna stop. They've actually kept on making Xbox 360 games, and they will. So this is just a summary, I guess. Wow, this is a long video. It probably won't be a long video once I've edited it down. But that's pretty much it for now. What I'm doing, sticking to PC, getting a 3DS capture card. I heard you can do that, and I heard it's actually pretty easy to do as well. You kind of have to get it installed by this guy, but apparently it's free. Well. Then get the Xbox One controller for your PC, because the best part about the Xbox One is the controller, really. And if you really want to, you can get the new Xbox 360. They're still making games for that. They're still going to keep making games for that for quite a while, actually. So that's what I would do. What I'm probably going to do. I might do another like redone video where I talk about this later in time, like when the consoles came out for a couple of years each, and like they've actually, I only wanted this to be a really short little video, to be honest. It's a bye for now, I guess, so goodbye.